All right, so if you want more power on your forehand, there's two things that you have to nail before you do anything fancy like a lag and snap or changing your backswing or your follow through. And if you don't do these two things, none of those things are going to matter. The first thing is balance. Okay, we found out that amateur tennis players are off balance 90% of the time when they're hitting. And so you can't fire a cannon from a canoe. So the first thing we got to do is develop balance. And here's how we're going to do it. Don't think about hitting the ball hard, but instead think about being very smooth. Okay, and you'll notice here on these shadow swings that I'm in a medium-ish swing speed, but I'm staying very smooth and very relaxed. Okay, and the other thing I want to point your attention to is the finish. So if you'll notice on the finish here, I'm looking over my shoulder at where the imaginary ball was. So I've left my eye over the point of contact, and I've finished my swing, allowing my hip to come through. And this is a big problem, is a lot of times we get so tense, we start trying to swing really hard, and we don't let our hips come through, and all kinds of shenanigans start to happen. So in the shadow swing, just take a look at this. Notice how the swing is very smooth, it's nice and relaxed, and I'm finishing on balance every single time. At the end of the day, how you practice is how you're going to perform. So make sure when you're doing this that you're doing it the right way. Now the next step you can do is you can do this on a drop feed. Okay, and this gets a little bit tricky because you have to work out the coordination with when to drop and when to do your backswing. But the main thing I want you to make sure of is if you're doing this is that you're dropping the ball at sort of the ideal point of contact. Be a little bit different for everybody, but make sure that it's at a comfortable distance. And just again, focus on holding the finish and leaving your eye where the ball was. Don't let your eyes and your head shift, because the minute they do, your balance gets thrown for a loop, and we're back to trying to shoot that cannon from the canoe. Okay, the next logical step here is to break out the ball machine. So get the ball machine out. I'm using a slinger bag here. Make sure when you're doing this that you have to move to the ball, because again, we want to be practicing the way we're going to be playing, and in tennis, you got to move to the ball. So make the ball feed go a little bit of distance away, get to the ball and set up, and then execute your swing and hold the finish. Okay, leave your eyes where the ball was and see if you can hold that balanced finish and check your position and make sure, you know, that hip's coming through and you're nice and relaxed. So now how do you learn to hit the sweet spot more? That's a little bit trickier, but here's a few things that can help.
You can notice what it feels like to hit the sweet spot. You can visualize powerfully where you want the ball to go while making sure your eyes don't move during contact. This will increase your focus, and you can repeat this over and over again.
Because at the end of the day, this is all about repetition, okay? It's all about repetition. We can't get away from that. And if we know that amateur tennis players are off balance and mishitting the ball most of the time, the fastest way for us to change that is to actually use the Billie Jean King iCoach simulator, because it's the closest thing we can get to practicing a live ball from home. So everything that we just did, you can do on the iCoach. Again, line up your position, take an easy swing and leave your eye where the ball was, and just check your position. Make sure you're nice and relaxed. The added benefit of this is you're going to be able to feel instantly whether or not you hit the sweet spot. And because we've taken out a huge variable, which is the ball flying away, you're going to start to notice that you're hitting the sweet spot more often. And as I said at the beginning, these are the two critical first steps to really establishing power that can be harnessed over the long term. Now, if you're a competitive player and you want to use this forehand against your opponents, then one of the most important things that you can do is understand that trying to improve your technique is the slowest way to go out and win more of those tight 50-50 matches. It's also the least predictable. What you need are the 4 crucial skills that are trained all at the same time that allow you to win more of those tight 50-50 matches. This is modeled after the military, and it's how they train ordinary people to become extraordinary under the greatest of pressures. And we created a diagnostic tool that you can click below and take for free, and this will give you a score in each of those 4 categories, as well as a personalized report. After you get your personalized report, we'll show you how to improve each of these predictably, so you start winning more of those 50-50 matches. So that link's in the description. Subscribe if you like this video. We're going to be coming out with more of these in the future, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.